Welcome to the Slade Ham experiment. Hi, everybody. It's me, Slade Ham. Please be seated. Put your hands inside the vehicle. Keep them there at all times. Exits are there and there. A couple other places if you're really brave. I know it looks like a window, but anything's an exit if you really want out. I'm Slade Ham, your host. Cheers. It's a good week. It's a busy week. This episode may be short. I reserve the right to go short. I just want to say that up front. I told a friend of mine that I had to knock this episode out. You always have comics who, maybe not comics, but in whatever it is you're doing, underlings, people, you know what I mean, coming up below you, mentees, if you're the mentor, whatever the word is for those people. Those people always, I remember what it was like working somewhere. I never really had a mentor. But I had bosses, and anytime somebody convinced me they knew what they were doing, all I tried to do was catch them slipping, contradicting themselves. That's what happened to me. I said I might go short. They go, what about your commitment? Which is a me thing, because I say it all the time. I said, like, this show is a perfect example of a commitment that I make. And the misunderstanding, the misunderstood impression, you know what I'm trying to say, is that the commitment I make is to the audience. It is not. This show is a commitment to me. You can't do anything for the audience, young buck. I preach that. And it's not even a commitment to me to put out a full-length podcast. That's the thing. It's not like I told myself I was going to do an episode every single week. There's plenty of outs. I've punted a couple of times. There should be more than this many episodes in the last year. There aren't. If I'm on a trip that's really, really cool and it would detract from the trip for me to stop down and do one of these, I don't do it. I'm also allowed to skip if I have a Slade Runner episode or something equivalent in the can, some other piece of film. But this isn't a commitment to making a show. It's a commitment to me organizing my nightmarishly chaotic, this carousel of thoughts that ding ding dings around my head like so many drunk pinballs. Ding ding ding. So it's just me and notebooks and laptops and phone notes and whatever else sticks up here in the handful of neurons that pull it together every week. And then I come over here and I try and spit it out, because the truth is I'm probably just trying to turn most of this stuff into jokes. That's the cool part of my life. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. At the end of the day, the end result is I get to write jokes. Ha! And my bills get paid. And if anyone knew how difficult that was... Thank you to all of you. Let me say that, and we'll get into whatever. This is a grab bag today. We'll see what's in the bucket. We'll see how long I go. It may be a whole episode. We may be out of here in 6 minutes. I hope your drive isn't that far today. We funded my Kickstarter. 114 of you kicked in over $15,000, just over. In fact, we're making a comedy special. I'm so much certain that we're making a comedy special. We went and venue shopped today, and we might have picked a venue. And I don't have a for sure any contract, so I can't say anything for sure. But I would suggest keeping August. August's a better month. That's right around the corner. August 19th, May 19th-ish, maybe, or so, whatever that Saturday is. I would just kind of keep that maybe in a different color on your calendar, an important color, a color that says don't maybe do anything else that day. So we funded it, and I had this conversation with a bunch of my whiskey brothers the other day. So I won't spend too much time going into it, but there's a bunch of different types of people that go to contribute to specials like this. You got, imagine putting a project together. This is why I preached way before all of this, how much you got to keep your emotions intact, how much you can't have any sort of emotional attachment to the outcome on any level. Not the overall success of something, not the failure of something, not the people who participate in something. Because you will have expectations. Say you make something, right? Say you're trying to fund a project. Pick a project. Pick anything that means something to you. You're trying to make it. You're testing when you do something like this. When you put out a Kickstarter campaign like I did, right? You're testing the public's willingness to back you, right? Not their willingness to absorb it. They'll watch it, whatever, but to back you, to back its creation. So you have expectations of certain people, all the people you know in your life. Every name you see pop up on your Facebook feed, you think to yourself. You can't help it. It's not conscious. It's not like I sat down, went through a friends list. I was mad to even be on social media. I'm trying to get off so bad now that the campaign's over. We may talk about that if I remember. But the whole wondering who's going to contribute and how much and what they're going to do, you're never going to be right. You got people at the bottom, the lower category, right? The nothings. They either didn't see it, didn't care, too busy with their regular lives. It's not blipping the radar. Nothing. Just scrolls right past their feed. It's white noise. Then you got the people who give it the thumbs up and the Amber Alert share. You know what I mean? I shared it. Feel like I did something. That's really what we should come back to. Those are the most important people. Because you're not really, I don't want to sound ungrateful. A great many people shared the campaign, and I have no doubt that the groundswell of that does have meaning. That inside of social media, if 100 people share something, even if they don't contribute, even if they don't kick in any money, even if they don't do anything tangible, if 100 people share something, the likelihood is they're going to snag a fish for you, right? Someone else is going to see it that will kick in. You're going to net something from that. But for the most part, they're ineffective. Think about when the missing kid thing comes across that's what we were talking about, the missing kid thing coming across your feed. You just click share and you move on. It's like just tacking up a flyer. Trey said the other night, it's like handing the flyer to the missing girl. That's how disconnected you are from what you're actually sharing. You don't even see the missing girl. You don't know what she looks like. You're just sharing, kicking your little 2 pennies out there into that noisy well. And it's easy to do that, right? Because the alternative is, what I think you should do, and it's the hard one to swallow, is start somewhere close. Think of a cause, right? We all get emotionally involved in these different causes. We all have X amount of bandwidth to commit to different causes, right? You only got so much of your life, so much of your day between your job and your relationship, maybe your kids, maybe your hobby, maybe you're a stand-up comic. You're on the road all the time. I don't know what your life is. You got X amount of time to donate to a cause, something charitable, something good. You gotta convince yourself you did X amount. The easiest way to do that is to just click a share button, put a frame around your photo. You got involved. Oh my God, look at you. You got involved. I don't want to demean that, right? But you're not doing anything. You got to walk past 75 homeless people to get to the coffee shop so you can change your flag to pro-Ukraine, which is a great thing to care about. But it's an easy thing to care about from here. What does it mean? What does it mean? Think about that. And I have to ask myself this every time I'm confronted with one of these decisions. Every time I come to one of these forks in the road. The Ukraine issue, it was such a big one for me. And I'll tell you why. Because everybody was putting a yellow and blue frame around their photo around April or so of last year. February, March. We stand with Ukraine. What does that mean? Because I was in Poland in May, and there were "We Stand with Ukraine" stickers on many businesses and many homes. In these places, some 15 miles from the Ukraine border. We're actually supporting the people of Ukraine. We stand with you. This bar is safe for you. I remember when we hung out and we were watching Eurovision. All of this sticks with me. The bar was in Lithuania or Bulgaria. Anyway, it was this pro-Ukraine bar, and they were literally like not hiding because you didn't have to hide them, but had Ukrainians fresh from the war come over the border, sitting there scared, not scared and shivering, but having drinks. Like, yeah, we literally just left there. The lady we sat at the hotel, she was actually helping people get out. I'm just having these weird memories now. You can change your Facebook frame if you do that. But you should have to, if you're going to change your Facebook frame or put a bumper sticker on your car or wear the T-shirt, the actual literal T-shirt, you should have to show your work. I don't know why we lost that concept. I don't know why show your work just disappeared. Is it the computer age? I don't remember. I know that if I got the right math problem but couldn't explain to you how I got it, they wouldn't let me have the answer. Big old fat F. That's why old Slade here didn't make it past Algebra 2 in high school. That's why my plans to be a civil engineer that weren't really my plans. I think my dad gave them to me based on some shit that my step-parents were doing at the time. I don't really know. I didn't know civil engineers made parking lots until I had dropped out of college. Anyway, my bigger point is you should have to show your work. You should have to, if you say, I support this, then you got to prove it to me. Just show me a little bit of video of you running through the rubble. You know what I mean? A little bit of video of you telling someone to shh down in the basement so the bad people don't hear them. A little bit of video of you helping out. That'd be lovely. Show your work. That's what you should have to do on all of these social causes. I believe this. Show your work. I love you. Show your work. You don't, come on. So stupid. Anyway, thank you for sharing. Those of you who clicked like or share, even though you did very little else, I appreciate you for being part of the noise that started to sound like my name if you tuned it a bit. The bigger groups, there were some very heartfelt messages sent to me directly. There were some people who posted some very nice things. I appreciate you as you shared it. Then there were some bangers, all of you who actually kicked in money and donated on multiple levels. There's some people producing. It's amazing. There's some people who just helped and did extra things. I probably talked about this too much. I'm grateful. Thank you so much. But it all comes down to why I'm doing this, right? Why are you making a comedy special, Slade? You're on cruise ships, man. You got the ships. I love my cruise ship brethren. Some of the dudes out there, I mean this sincerely, some of my best friends in the game. 20-something years in, my road dogs, my ride or dies. I'm not disparaging those folks. I'm not talking trash about the gig. But it's not for me. It's not my future. It's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I've done it. Cruise ships are very much, I think I did a whole episode about what it's like working on a cruise ship. So I don't want to repeat myself. But some savage travel and the reward, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, as I've heard said. There's a ceiling to that, right? Even at the highest rate that I could make, I'd have to be working 5 or 6 cruise ship gigs a month to pull that in. I'd never be home. I'd be in an airport about every 4 days. All to be upper middle class. It's a good trade. I mean, for telling jokes. It seems like a silly thing, and that's I've had to sit with this. I've had to struggle with it. 23 years in. Am I stupid? Right? Am I turning my back on a bunch of stuff that's supposed to be my retirement plan? And then I remember I've been stupid my whole life. Not stupid. I'm the smartest person I know. But also, like, I haven't made intentional, intelligent decisions a lot of the time. I'm just really good at falling out of trees. So in this case, it's a right now, while I'm not at the end of it all, and I'm not, just trying to coast down the final stretch on some ship, reevaluating my life. Now is the time to shift the paradigm a little bit. Let all those dudes go work the ships. Let all these other dudes work the 5 and 7 minute YouTube sets and TikTok jokes under a minute. Then let all these other dudes go banging around at the old club model I know. And I'm just going to try and slip into some different water. And weirdly, if you set your mind to something, I wrote about this the other day. Whose quote was it? Warren Buffett, who said, write your obituary first and then live up to it. Something along those lines. I believe it. Why not write the end of it first and then just trust all the blanks to fill in? It usually happens. You just got to do that a couple of times where you're like, oh, this isn't supernatural. It's just natural. I've been winging this special since jump. I did a bunch of podcasts in May to support my Kickstarter, which cleverly worked out. And in one of them, we were talking about it. I was trying to explain that I didn't know what I was doing most of the time. I've trained myself on my friends' specials. I made Jerry Wayne Longmire's special. I made Andy Huggins' special. I didn't know what I was doing for either one of those, but we managed to get enough money and get enough cameras and get enough footage and to somehow make some specials. And we learned how to do all of this. So now I know how to do this, and we're just gonna go swing some bats in August. I got some good people in the producer seats. For whatever it's worth, my good friend Brad Jordan, some of you know the Houston legend Scarface. I'm sure he's gonna be there. He's producing. There's so many good people and names I can't even tell you because I don't know if they want me to tell you. So it doesn't matter. Thank you for those of you who chose to be part of it. I promise we're making something very, very, very cool. Is there anything else I really want to get to? The only thing else I had written down, and I don't know, I haven't even read the article. Let's see what this says. I'll see if I have anything to say about it. Good movie reviews might spell floppage for hyped films. They say if you're excited to see a new movie, even though it's getting bashed by critics, you're probably not alone. Okay, that's why I wrote that down. Pre-release reviews have been found to sometimes inversely predict a movie's success. Positive marks actually correlated with box office flops, and negative reviews indicated surprise financial glory, according to a new study. The trend even applied to top critics with lots of film expertise. Researchers say this challenges the standard thinking that good pre-release reviews boost box office revenue. No, I've been screaming this from the rooftops for forever. No one listens to critics. That's why. Even things like Yelp, you got to strategically know how to use a critic, right? One, on Reddit, there's a certain strategy. Have I talked about this? If you want the answer to something, you can't ask the question on Reddit. You have to go to Reddit and ask the question. Then you have to log out because people aren't going to give you the right answer. You just ask. No one wants to help you. It's not in their best interest to help you. No one's on there looking for questions to answer so that they can help. You got to think about what motivates these people in these groups. So you post the question, then you log out, then you log back in as a different user, and then you pose the wrong answer. Here's what you do, and then you give the wrong answer. If someone says, what's the best way to repair a hot air balloon? No one's going to answer that question. But if you log out, you log back in as hot air balloon repairman 57. And then you post, well, I've found the best way to repair the hot air balloon is with candle wax. And you say it confidently, like a 14th century balloon repairman. And then wait, because then the internet will flood you with the correct answer, because people don't want to help you, but they do want to prove other people wrong. So you got to know how to use them. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to go to Yelp, you don't look at the the 1-star reviews. You look at the 4-star reviews. You look at the people who tell you how good the product was, except for the one little nuanced bad thing. And then you look for the consistencies there. There's ways to use this information. So no, you'd never use, nobody uses critics for actual information. It's stupid Ebert or Siskel or so. Those people don't know movies. They know movies. They know how they work. They understand film. They don't know if a movie's good. They've never enjoyed a movie. They're too worried. They're too busy worried about why the window's open or whether or not that person walking by was symbolic of the fruit that was eaten earlier or whatever mythological moral fable is being told. It's all stupid film critic stuff. That's why film critics are idiots. Film critics have never made films. Ask a filmmaker if a film is good. They'll tell you. Oh, that dude did some amazing stuff. Yeah, you should go see that. So no, it doesn't surprise me that the data finally supports the fact that none of us are really listening to these idiots. Now, what we need are the idiots at the top to understand that we're not actually listening to any of these idiots, right? Not any of these idiots, not any of the people who tell you that we're all out here shivering in our boots about all these social justice issues and all of these things, and we're losing our minds, and we're all going to, if you don't just hurry up and change your advertising and marketing and do this and do that and react and tweet and apologize and blah, your brain will explode. None of us are paying attention. We're all focused on our own shit. We're all focused on our stuff. I don't care about your dumb social cause. I don't wake up in the morning thinking about Ukraine. Not mad about any of these things. Totally on board. Push comes to shove. Ukrainians are free to stay here. I would love to welcome you home. You get like 2 days. You got to get out. You got to find somewhere. I would say that to my best friend, though. So it's not that I don't uncare about them. It's just that I'm focused on different stuff. Y'all aren't up thinking about my comedy special. People, that's mine every morning. I'm gonna stand by it. I'm too narrow focused on that to care about your other stuff right now, and that doesn't make me insensitive. It makes me honest, and more honest than you, because sometimes all you did was change your stupid Facebook frame and go to bed feeling like you did something, and that was easier than going down the street and hanging out with the homeless guy and figuring out why his life is screwed up 10 minutes from your house. You know what I mean? This is I don't want to be preachy. I'm surprised more babies aren't left on top of cars because we're so distracted, worried about how terrible the world is right now for our children. We probably get in the car, on the phone, set the baby on top, put the groceries in the car, call your friend. I can't believe they're not selling free-range eggs at the grocery store. Those poor chickens. You're driving off to your house, sharp lefts and rights, because you're getting more and more angry about the unorganicness of your chicken, and you're telling your friend Bob, and you're and the Trader Joe's doesn't care. They're not using the good eggs, and it's just and you screech into the driveway, and you get out, and you're mad because these eggs came from a war-torn region, or they're blood eggs, or whatever you're worried about. And then you're just screaming at your friend. What kind of world are we leaving for our children? And the whole time your child is left behind for the world in the Trader Joe's parking lot because you went screeching off, mad about your social justice eggs. This should have been a short episode. It's all your fault, film critics. I was trying to get out of here 10 minutes ago. I've got dates all summer long, leading up to the taping in August. This week, June 9th and 10th, I'm at LOL Comedy Club in San Antonio. Next week, the 16th and 17th, I am at Hyenas Comedy Club in Fort Worth. The 23rd and 24th of June, I will be in Colorado Springs at Looney's Comedy Club. I come back July 2nd. I'm doing a pickup date at the Riot here in Houston. A good chance to see the show as I'm working out some of it here in town. And then I think July 8th, I take Trey Tutson. We go up to Arcadia Live Theater in Kerrville, Texas. And then I do 2 weeks in Toronto and Ottawa. Look at me remembering my schedule the last 2 weeks of July. All those dates, sladeham.com. I believe ticket links as well. Cheers to you guys. Thank you for making the special reality. Steps 1 and 2 of my master plan are complete. On to the next. Love you guys. I'll see you on another episode of the Slade Ham Experiment.